Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to start off by saying that the whole world has been deceived. The whole world has been deceived. And of course, that deception stems from a number of different things, and they have a number of different reasons for this deception, right? We're looking at an old map. It says a map of nations of the ancient world. Okay. You can tell that this is related to the Bible because it shows Japheth, Japheth, New Jerusalem, all of that kind of stuff, right? And so I want to point out some very, very clear things on this map. Now, this is back before they were trying to be a certain way, right? As you see, the map has changed. Now, there are other deceptions dealing with the map as well, where they show Africa much smaller than what it really is, okay? When you look at world maps, there was a lot of manipulation done, a lot of manipulating of the map to make things appear a certain way. So why would people go through all of this effort, all of the trouble to minimize some people and lift up or elevate others? It even goes down to them calling us or referring to us as minorities, you know. So if we are referred to as minorities, then what are they, the majority? That in and of itself is very deceptive, because the population of the world. Anyway, I'm not getting off into that, right? Y'all know where I'm trying to go with this. You know what I'm trying to say, that there are people who have structured everything to make themselves look like the majority and the top of the line, the better, the best, the superior, all of this, right? Now, this video is not about who's superior, who's inferior. It's not about any of that, right? Because when it's all said and done, when everybody dies, they're going to go back to dust, okay? There's not going to be a special dirt pile for this group of people and a special dirt pile for that one. There are no compartments in heaven or hell, okay? Wherever you're going, whether it's heaven or hell, there's not going to be a separation there. There's not going to be segregation in heaven or hell. Wherever you go, you're going to be in the general population, period. So anyway, back to this map. Ham, Africa, Eden, the ancient world, Shem, Japheth. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Japheth for some of you who use the King James Bible. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Interesting, huh? The three sons of Noah. Ham, Shem, and Japheth. But the cradle of it all, the center of it all, is Africa. Now you remember when Shem was said to have fled into the New World, or should I say, a far country. So you have people who are trying to say that that far country is America or whatever. But for Shem, that far country would have been the land of Ham. This is why so many of our people are still in that far country that they ran into when they fled their land. Interesting. But one thing I wanted to point out, the reason why I circled Africa and Eden is because this is where it all began, y'all. You see how Christians, the general Christian population, they want to talk about the Garden of Eden and all of this, right? But their depictions show what? They show a lily white man and woman with blonde hair as the first two people to show up in the Garden of Eden. Right smack dab in the middle of Africa, the land of Ham. Oh my goodness. This is what I'm talking about when I say, when the scripture says that knowledge will be greatly increased in the last days. Of course, they want to pin it all on technology, but knowledge of the truth is what it's referring to. Knowledge of what has been hidden is what it's referring to. Knowledge of the lies that have been put out there. So again, why is it that Christian depictions of the first two people on the planet, Adam and Eve, why is it showing two pearly white people? I don't mean this in an offensive way at all. I don't mean that in an offensive way. But right smack dab in the middle of the land of Ham, you have people claiming to be the first two humans born. When you say that you are the first two people and the whole earth was populated from you, it got to make sense. You cannot make that make sense with the lying depictions that have been put out there. The truth is what it is, y'all. Don't take offense to the truth. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Two white people cannot produce the continent of Africa as you see it today. They cannot produce the world population as you see it today. This is why a lie had to be told to cover up the truth, right? So then a new statement had to be put out there. Then they had to say, you know what? We were the first two humans born in the middle of Africa, but you all are monkeys. You all are monkeys. They had to put that out there. And they had to say that we were 3/5 human. But even with that lie, that fib, that tall tale that was told, it still doesn't make sense that they are claiming to be the first two people born in the Garden of Eden. So then, in order to make it make sense, they have to come up with all of these fantastic stories, fantasies. Now, they say that we live in fantasy land, right? Or in a fantasy world. But in reality, the story of creation doesn't make sense when you put a white man and a white woman in the garden. It doesn't even make sense if you put a white man and a black woman in a garden, because a white man and a black woman cannot produce the people of Africa that you see today. A black man and a white woman cannot produce the people that you see in Africa today. But let me tell you who can produce every face that you see today. Two black people. Two black people. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find that couple, that black couple. I believe we put this in the documentary, the Whited Out documentary series. But I want to try to see if I can find the image of that black couple who had a white baby. There are so many examples of it. So many examples. So many examples of that, right? Right? But you cannot get it in the other direction. It just does not happen, right? Okay, so I found it. Give me one moment here. One moment. And so, you know, there was a movie too that came out where they were trying to imply that this white woman in South Africa had a black child. Again, the child looked mixed. This is what I'm saying. You cannot get children who look like the people of Africa. Okay. But that child looked mixed. And there was even some show of where it seemed as if the father had some doubts. The father of, or the husband of that wife, should I say. It seemed as if he had some doubts about that child being his in the movie, right? Okay, so give me one moment here. Some of you may remember this story, but again, we are talking about a black couple. A black couple. I'm going to go here to take a look at it. All right. You can save on all the gifts you need. But again, there's so much deception all over the planet, so much deception that it's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. And trying to unravel it all, sometimes you can be called a troublemaker for trying to bring forth the truth, right? So I'm going to get this for you here and let you take a look at this couple. Again, this is a black couple, right? Here we go. Here we go. So take a look at that. This is a black couple in Africa. They had a little daughter. They were living in London, but they're from Africa. The daughter had blue eyes, blonde hair, and white skin. This was their biological child that they had just given birth to, right? And so this happened some time ago. It happened some time ago. It made news because people were they couldn't believe their eyes. But I'm saying to myself, why couldn't you believe your eyes? Because Noah, he too was an albino child who was born to two black parents. This is why when Noah was born, his dad, his father, remember this, y'all? This is very important that you pay attention to this. Noah's father believed that Noah belonged to the angels. He says, we've begotten a son that don't look human. He said, doesn't look like man because his skin is white. His eyes are light color as well. His hair is golden. This is Noah in the Bible, y'all, describing his son. He says, I'm afraid of him. We're afraid of him. Where did this child come from? Was he a child of the angels? Now, if people back then, if Noah had white parents, why would they be afraid of his appearance being white with blonde hair and golden eyes? To get that response, you had to have black parents. Why would the parents of Noah say, I believe that we've gotten a child from the angels. This doesn't look human to us. Some of y'all don't like this. I know you don't, because the truth is too hard to deal with. The truth is a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but the truth is what it is. Whether we like it or not, the truth will always be. You see, so all of these deceptions that have been put forth out here in the world were to cover over the truth, because the truth was too hard to deal with for people who came after us. The whole world has been deceived and duped. The Garden of Eden was right smack dab in the middle of Africa, in the land of Ham, before Shem migrated to Africa. Shem being the 12 tribes of Israel, and others that come from Shem as well. Because again, Abraham was the father of many nations. Okay. So listen, y'all. Of course, within that story, there are stories within a story, if you know what I mean. Like Esau. There are stories within the story. For those of you who say, well, Esau was our brother, so they looked alike. No, the Bible clearly told you that they did not. The Bible told you that Esau's seed was spoiled. It also gives you history on how it was spoiled and what happened, right? You got to learn how to accept the truth, people. We have been lied to. The whole world has been deceived. Minds manipulated by print media, movies, music, all kinds of things that have been put out there. Every time they show you something dealing with Egypt, what do they show you? They show white images, as if black people were the minority in the land of Ham. Egypt, y'all, is a part of Africa. And they want to try to break it off in your minds by producing movies. And even the so-called Middle East was not called the Middle East. They created that terminology to deceive. The Middle East was also Northern Africa, the land of black Ham. And again, Shem migrated into Africa. I'm going to throw another curveball at you. Japheth, he was black too, y'all. I bet that flew right over some folks' heads. Japheth was white too. I'm sorry, not white, black. But he has been whited out. Y'all have to understand this. Ham, Shem, and Japheth were brothers. For you all that make that argument that because Jacob and Esau were brothers, that means that Esau has to be black too. I want y'all to understand something. Those same people acknowledge that Japheth is now whited out. Why is it so hard to believe that Esau is now whited out? Because you know Ham, Shem, and Japheth were 3 black brothers. But something took place on the planet, in which we covered much of this in the Whited Out documentary series. Something took place on the planet. Even science recognizes that there are people on the earth that have non-human DNA mixed with human DNA. Science recognizes this. This isn't something that I'm theorizing. This is the truth. It is what it is. When the scripture tells you that the sons of God mated or came in unto the daughters of men, it was talking about the angels that mated with women and produced a different offspring. The initial offspring were giants, but as time went on, it became the so-called Neanderthal, in which they call that barbarians, right? But they try to put the Neanderthal back millions of years ago to throw you off at the fact that the barbarians were indeed the Neanderthal that the Bible speaks of as it relates to the daughters of men being infiltrated by the sons of the Most High, or the angels. This is so much deeper than you all can imagine. The truth is what it is. This is what happened in the earth. And in this very short video, I can't even begin to sum it all up. So I would say to you all, you can get some really good details on much of this. If you go and view the Whited Out documentary series, we cover a lot of information concerning what has taken place on the planet. A lot of stuff has taken place on the planet. Things that people don't even want to deal with or talk about. But guess what? Science recognizes these things. They recognize that there are humans on the earth that have some non-human DNA. DNA from fallen angels. I'm done with this, y'all. This is just a quick, overview of this. Look at the Whited Out documentary series. You'll see a whole lot more. All right. Also, the book of Enoch talks about a whole lot of this stuff as well. If you read the book of Enoch, it is so deep, but it will straighten out a lot of the questions that you have in your mind. On the Watchmen Reports channel, if you type in Enoch, we did a couple of videos talking about what happened as well. If you want to take a look at that, you can do that on the Watchmen Reports channel. Anyway, I'm done with this. Say what you must in the comment section. As always, keep it tight and keep it right. Share this video, y'all. I would appreciate it. Thank you. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.